Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, but it is just too much work, I will just buy a new one. Odd network behavior, but is it? The clock's wrong. The 3 signs of water damage. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. But it is just too much work, I will just buy a new one. Hello everybody, it has been a while since I have posted, but I have another story for you. I may also be posting another in the next few days. So, a few days ago I was contacted by a usual customer. As I have said in other posts, I am a local computer technician, and I'm pretty well known for helping people in my town. A few days ago, an elderly gentleman who I have worked with before contacted me telling me that he has several Wi-Fi devices in his home and suddenly they work for a few minutes, and then they stop working. So, I did a remote session with him, checked some things out, had him down to load a Wi-Fi analyzer on his phone, and as it turned out, as I suspected, he was having some Wi-Fi interference as he lived in a small apartment complex, and there were multiple other Wi-Fi hotspots around and being broadcast, and on the same channel he was on. So, at this point I told him we needed to log into the router and change the Wi-Fi channel to a channel that was not being used. From the readout of the Wi-Fi analyzer we found that there were a few channels available. He was confused and asked me what I meant by this, and I explained to him that basically his Wi-Fi was on the same channel as a couple other Wi-Fis, and it was causing interference. I told him I will go into the router, change his channel to a less congested channel, and he should be good to go. Well, this apparently confused him a great deal, because he just said, well, that sounds like too much work to go through, and if my router is no good, I will just buy a new one. I explained to him, or tried to explain to him rather, that there was nothing wrong with his router, that it was functioning fine, but it was just on the same channel as other routers, causing a conflict with frequencies. He wanted nothing to do with what I was explaining to him. LOL, he insisted that there was no need for me to go in and change the channel, as he continued to say it was too much work. I continue to tell him that it will literally take me less than 30 seconds to make the change, and he will be good to go. He continually declined and said that he would just go down to Best Buy and buy a new router. He was insistent that this would resolve this issue, and all I could do was say okay. After this I ended the call. Well, here we are this morning. I get a call from the same guy telling me that he thinks that his internet service provider is having issues. Not even thinking back to the router incident, I asked him why he believes his internet service is having issues. He proceeds to explain that he bought a new router, hooked everything up, and he is still having the same issue. At this point I was frustrated. I explained to him that there is nothing wrong with his internet, just like there is nothing wrong with his router, the old one or the new one. I explained to him that the issue was a channel conflict that would be easily resolved if he would just let me log in and change the channel, again ensuring him that it is not a lot of hard work, and that it will take less than a minute. So he said, so you are telling me that I spent money for nothing on this new router? I replied, yes, I told you the other day that the router was not the issue. Additionally, I let him know that I have been doing this for many years, and I know what I'm talking about. So just to shorten up the story here, he agreed to let me give it a shot. He wanted to take the new router back, so hey, hook up the old one, and I went and changed the channel. Hey, what do you know, all of his devices started working. It worked, connected very solid. I really just don't understand, this day and age, people refuse to listen to the people that know what they are doing. It is just unreal to me. Odd network behavior, but is it? Okay, this was back in the 90s, maybe right around Win 95B or so. Had a customer that I just built a few PCs for, a bunch of really nice guys that ran a legal services group. Installed about half a dozen PCs for them. Maybe a week or two later, one of them won't connect to the network. So I drop by to see what's what. Log on to the PC and sure enough, no net. The PC was in a hutch in the desk, back when that was the fashion. So I slide the PC out onto the floor in front of the desk and pop the case off. Unplug the net card and plug it back in. Give it a little wiggle to assure good connection. It works. No big deal, loose card. Put the cover back on and push it back in the hutch. Network halts. I go through this routine maybe 3 times. Out of hutch, net. Back in hutch, no net. I'm suspecting maybe the hutch is torquing the network jack maybe. On the last trip out I decide to pull the PC all the way out, disconnect everything, and take it home with me. That's when I noticed the problem. When I was pulling the PC out of the hutch and sitting on the floor, I wasn't paying attention to the case. I had somehow missed that the customer had decorated one entire side of the metal case cover in refrigerator magnets. The clock's wrong. Part of my work is for a small tertiary education institution in Sydney, Australia. About 10 years ago, I was tasked with setting up a new server for their instance of a popular open-source learning management system, which we shall call OSLMS for short. The new server was, like the old one, a Linux machine running the usual LAMP stack. Given that the AUS academic year runs within each calendar year, I was setting up the machine in late spring, November, so that it would be ready for use in the new year. Now this institution's use of OSLMS includes online submission of assignments in PDF form. Deadlines were always 11:55 p.m. Sydney time, and the mantra when talking to students was that the deadline was measured using server time, irrespective of their individual computer time. To assist with this, we had a plugin that displayed server time on every page on the web interface. In Sydney, daylight saving, summertime, is in effect from the first Sunday in October until the first Sunday in April, so when I set up and tested the server it was summertime. Everything went well, the new server was working smoothly, and we migrated to it without a hitch. Then April rolls around. Daylight saving ends. Clocks are reset. Computers do the NTP thing and adjust their clocks to standard time. Then a colleague tells me, the server clock display on OSLMS is still on summertime. Crap. So I start digging. Server is set to the correct time zone and has done the NTP thing. So why is the server clock widget still showing summertime? Except that it isn't. The php.ini file has its own time zone setting, doesn't it? And that version of PHP had a default value of Antarctica/Macquarie. Australia Eastern Standard Time is UTC plus 10. Antarctica/Macquarie is UTC plus 11. When I set up the web server, it was summertime, so I didn't notice the time zone error. Once I had set the PHP time zone to its correct value, Australia/Sydney, I moaned on Fakebook, who on Earth runs web servers in Antarctica. A very learned friend replied, the penguins, and they're running Linux. The 3 signs of water damage. Working as a repair tech at a phone/tablet/computer repair shop in a mall has all the quirks of retail and tech support jobs. But I like the small family-owned shop and get to work alone most days without being bothered by management or coworkers. It's simple. Except sometimes customers can be frustrating. The following story is true, just happened yesterday. All names of individuals and companies have been omitted. Last week I sold a refurbished phone to a nice guy for his son who can't seem to keep a phone more than a year. Less than a week later the son, in his mid-20s, comes into the shop to complain that one morning he woke up and his phone just wouldn't turn on. So he took the phone to our direct competitor big chain phone repair store, and they told him the phone was non-reparable, and he should just get a new phone. So he shows up to the store it was purchased at to return it or replace it under our warranty. I ask if it was damaged, dropped or wet. No, definitely not. It just quit working all of a sudden for no reason. It's a bad phone. I ask him to let me open it and see if it can be repaired. He says he needs to go out to another store and would be back in about 15 minutes. When I open the device up there is literally a puddle of water in it. At this point I put it together. This guy dropped his phone in some liquid, took it to another repair store, they told him it was toast, so he tries to return it thinking he can pull a fast one on my little family-owned shop. When he comes back, we had this satisfying exchange, me equals me. CX equals customer. Me, when I opened up your phone I noticed some water damage that is likely the culprit for the device failure. CX, what? I haven't even had the phone for a week. I didn't get it wet. Me, well, there are 3 ways to identify liquid damage. First, there is a little white sticker inside the device that turns red when exposed to water. Second, many of the internal metal components rust easily and others stain easily when exposed to liquids. Third, when you open the device, liquid literally drips out. Your phone had a puddle in it. Unfortunately, our warranty does not cover water damage. CX, okay, well I need a phone, can you fix it? Me, we can send it out for board level repair, but that can take a while and may exceed the replacement value of the phone. I would only suggest attempting repair if the data is really important and not backed up anywhere. We do have other refurbished phones for sale, including another of the exact same model. Feeling for this guy, I even offer a small discount and help him get it set up. We get to the setup stage where he needs to log into a cloud account and some other customers come in. He steps aside and tries to log in. Just as I'm checking the other customer out, he barges in and shoved the phone in my face, exclaiming, "What the hell is this?" A pop-up message says something about entering the password wrong too many times and being locked out for 14 days. I say, seems like you entered your password wrong too many times and are locked out. You could try getting in touch with the company and see if they'll unlock the account and phone for you, but I can't do anything about that. CX, what the actual F***CK? This is bullshit, you sold me 2 broken phones. Me, no sir, I sold you 2 phones that you broke. If you'd like, I have another phone of the exact same model for sale right here. I can even give you a slight discount for being a frequent customer. CX, are you shitting me? No. I want this phone I just bought to work. Me, well, I'd suggest calling the company or getting in touch with them online. You could also wait the 2-week lockout period and try your password again. CX, how am I supposed to call the company without a working phone? Me, there's a public library about 10 minutes away. I can get you the address. The guy storms out of the shop cussing. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.